Hello and welcome back to the X-Files Revisited. We are moving on with Season 8 on to Episode 2, Without. Mulder is out there, or is he? Without throws us deeper into the desert where lookalikes, shapeshifters and shattered hopes blur the line between truth and illusion. This is the episode where Scully and Dogg's uneasy partnership begins to take shape, and Mulder's absence is more haunting than ever. Brian?
Yeah, it's, I realised because like when we I'll get into it in a bit. Actually, never mind. I'll move on. Let's just I was actually surprised by last week's episode by how much you liked it because I went in there with a rather conservative 4 out of 5, thinking I won't like blow its trumpet too much, and you just smacked down that 4.5 right out the gate.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see where you're at. I would love to know your score for it now and see if it changes over the course of the discussion. But
okay, I'll give you that if you want, Brian.
Yeah, do you want to?
Yeah,
go on.
Yeah, 4.5.
So your score currently, as it stands for this episode, is a 4.5.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. Where do you think the audience stand on it? So we've got 21 episodes in season 8. Where do you think the IMDb audience rank this particular episode?
6.
Hey, it's right. I'm guessing your logic there was last week's was 7. I'm guessing the audience probably likes this one a bit more, so I'm going to go 6.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much it. Yeah. Okay. Where do you think it sits in terms of the 217 total episodes?
76.
Oh, not quite right. 71.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Not
closer than last week.
Yeah, it's better than last week. Landed it in the 40s last week. But, yeah. Okay. There you go then. So we'll get into it. And I'll kick off by saying that because I tend to watch when we're doing these and we go away, we watch episodes. I know you like to watch them separately, so you don't know what's coming. If we're doing 2-part or whatever, I watch them both. I just take the notes on both straight away, and then we'll record one, and then we'll record the other one whenever. Because of that, sometimes I get my memories a little bit confused as to what happened where. And last episode I thought we opened up with one of those voiceovers from Scully that kind of makes my eyes roll usually. Turns out we didn't. It's actually the start of this episode. So yeah, the voiceover wasn't in at the start of last episode, it's in this one. And we open up.
Well, hang on. First of all, since you made such an egregious mistake, I'm just going to rip up your X-Files fandom card. So you're cheerio. Bye-bye.
There goes my credentials.
Yeah.
Okay, so we open up with a voiceover from Scully as a UFO lands and cloaks. And the voiceover says something along the lines that if they know our secrets, why can't we know theirs? So it's this, yeah, it's like around the houses kind of voiceover where it's all like, ooh, what's she saying? What's she saying? And it ends on essentially, yeah, if they can know our secrets, why can't we know theirs? It's basically like a screw these aliens, man. Screw them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. And that's the opening. Where does that land you?
Again, like much like the start of the first episode, you're never sure whether this is actually happening or whether this is just images that are going along with what Scully is saying. So there's that kind of like, is this she's wishing she could see and understand, or is this actually happening? It has that duality to it, which I really kind of like.
Yeah. Okay. So we go to, obviously we pick up from the end of last episode where we go to Mulder. And Doggett's got a gun on him, and he's like, Mulder, let Gibson go. Let's just talk about this and all that. So Mulder lets Gibson go, and then he walks over the edge, as Doggett puts it. This is so on the nose. It's like, so Mulder looks a bit crazy here. That just walks over the ledge of the cliff shows us that, oh yeah, he is a bit crazy. So yeah, just throws himself off a cliff, and a bunch of the other FBI agents rock up, like Agent Crane and whatnot, and they're like, what happened? Where is he? And it's like, and Doggett uses the line of dialogue, he went over the edge. And it's like this kind of, it's a double kind of meaning thing, because he's like, he literally went over the edge, but also he mentally went over the edge, it seems. And it just seemed like a really heavy-handed piece of dialogue. But
I think Patrick sells it. I think also like the way he approaches Mulder with it, the gun out, and he's not really talking to him as a perpetrator, but as a kind of equal almost, because he's like, if you don't release the boy, I'm going to have to take act. He's trying to reason with him and explain his position, which I kind of liked that as well. So, yeah.
So Mulder wakes up at the bottom. So he's lying on the ground, his arms all broken, and his eyes open up.
Oh, can we just say the fall's really great?
Yes,
like the shot of it.
Yeah,
it's just a really nicely kind of staged one.
Yeah, and they use it in the new opening credits. I don't know if you've taken the time to watch the opening credits for this season, because they've changed them slightly. Yeah, obviously, because they've got a new main character and whatnot, they've had to rejig the credits. So Skinner gets his own title card, Doggett's in there, and this little scene where Mulder kind of falls off the cliff. They clearly thought, we're proud of that. We're using that one in the credits.
Yeah,
which is understandable, because
it's a good sequence. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So Doggett tells Scully and Skinner what happened. Scully says it wasn't Mulder, but an alien bounty hunter looking for Gibson. Doggett walks away. His reaction to this is just like, yeah, I don't know what to say to that, so I'm just gonna walk over here.
Yeah.
I like that Scully is now, though, just like super kind of on board. There's no trying to explain it away. She is full on, aliens exist. This is an alien bounty hunter. It can change shape, look like anyone. It's like, this is something that at one point she just never, ever would have uttered in her life. And here she is uttering it. Oh. Doggett goes back to the school, and there's no sign of Gibson or Mulder. He tells his team to search again. And Mulder, again, in inverted commas, let's just all assume, yes, this is not Mulder. The alien bounty hunter, Budget Terminator, fixes his arm, turns into Budget Terminator, Brian Thompson. Doggett
again. Let's just say, much like William B. Davies, he's got a great job. Like, he really does. He doesn't have to do much at all.
He is nothing. He's absolutely nothing. All he's got to do is look mean. He's got to look tough, which isn't hard when you're Brian Thompson, and that's it. It's just like, boom.
I mean, it's pretty much an appearance fee, is what he's getting at this point.
It is an appearance fee. It is. It's like this. We have to have this guy because he's established in the law. We know that it's like, and he gets paid. Like, they could literally have anyone in come and do a bounty hunter, and they wouldn't have to get paid as much. Brian Thompson would get paid more because this is a recurring character. I say,
but the thing is that he'll literally be on screen for like 4 or 5 seconds. He'll change into him and then walk off. Like, someone has to do all the action. And then it's just morph into this guy, walk off.
I wonder if they get past the recurring character paycheck by saying, but this isn't the same alien shape-shifting bounty hunter you played last time, because we know there's loads of these guys, and you're playing a different one every single time you come on.
Not a chance. He gets some good bank off this.
Yeah, I bet.
It's another one to Mulder's like our Duchovny's just rage. Like, how are these people just doing?
They come in, they do nothing.
They get paid and they walk off.
Yeah. Oh man, such a cushy job. Such a cushy job. I'd love it. And then you get to go to conventions and sign autographs just because you're that dude who pops up every now and again. Does one shot. Oh man. So yeah. Budget Terminator is, fixes his arm, and Doggett enters a room. It looks like a science lab or something. Doggett enters only to see a different man now standing there. So yeah, literally, it's Mulder. So even when Mulder's got the broken arm, we see him fix it, so he puts it back in place. Then he turns into Budget Terminator for one shot. Doggett enters, and then it's not even Budget Terminator anymore. It's some other dude. So it's that's literally that he had to be brought in just to tell us that this guy isn't Mulder. It's that dude.
So I've just did a quick Google there, Brian. 9 episodes he appears in.
Just 9?
It feels like more, doesn't it?
It feels like way more.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in. So he's in Colony, Endgame. Talitha Kumi. Heron Volk and Memento Mori.
Yeah.
Emily, Patient X, The Red and the Black. Two Fathers, The Unnatural, Requiem, Within and Without.
Wow. Okay, and so none after this?
Nope, that's it.
Oh, wow. So that's his last one. I really did think Brian Thompson came back after this. He should have done. Blimey. Yeah, I thought there was more than that. See, but that's the thing, isn't it? Like when you have a minor character that can make such an impact, like I always think of him as one of the key bad guys. When you say name the key bad guys in the X-Files, I think Cancerman, I think Krychek, I think the Alien Bounty Hunter, and it's actually he's only been in 9 episodes. That's one per season.
Guess how many episodes William B. Davies was in?
Oh,
216.
217 episodes altogether.
217.
I'm going to say 26.
43.
43? Wow. Okay, so that's a quarter of the show, nearly.
Cha-ching.
Yeah. Oh man, great stuff. I wonder how many Krychek was in.
I'll Google that. We'll be going to the next point.
you look that while I talk about this. Okay, so he's fixed his arm. Doggett enters, sees him there, and he's like, "I thought we cleared you out." And then the guy looks dodgy as flipping. Yeah, this guy does not look legit at all. The way he just stares at him and then an agent comes in and goes, any problems? And Doggett's just like, nah, nothing here. And off he goes. It's like, dude, take a good look at this guy. He just does not look legit at all. There's nothing kosher about him.
No, but it's good. It's just so dodgy. He's sweaty. His eyes are popping. Just to go back to our Krychek question, would you like to guess?
Yeah, go on. It's not going to be as many as William B. Davis, not even close. Question is, does he crack the 20 mark? I'm not so sure. I'm gonna say, 21,
24.
24. Okay, all right. That's respectable. Yeah.
Now let's go on with the episode. Went down a rabbit hole there.
These fun games we like to have. So Scully and Skinner spot one of the kids making a run for it on her bike. The same kid that had looked at Gibson before in the previous episode. She was looked concerned for him. Skinner distracts Agent Crane so that Scully can go after her. So, yeah. Crane, come on, dude. It's like oldest trick in the book. It's like it's going around the corner, and then Skinner just like, oh, sorry, yes, Agent Crane, isn't it? Yes. Can I have a word with you over here, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, like falling for that one. So yeah, Scully goes on foot. She doesn't go by car or steal one of the kids' bikes. She's like marching after this kid. And at first I was kind of like, it's like the amount of noise you make, she's going to hear you. And then, oh yeah, deaf school. You could be like 5 feet behind this girl, and as long as you don't get in a peripheral vision, she's not going to know you're there. So yeah. Okay, so she goes after her on foot, just follows her. This deaf kid just never thinks to look behind her. Whatever. She comes over this hill, and suddenly the girl's gone. So she looks around and she finds this door in the floor that reminds me of the bunker in Terminator 2. And she opens it up, and there's Gibson Praise and this deaf girl. He's a friend of his. Gibson's got a broken leg, so Scully makes a splint for him, and she tells him that they want you because you're special, but I won't let anything happen to you. And he's like, yeah, right. How many times have you said that?
You've said that before.
Yeah. If he had any sense, he'd get the hell out of Dodge right now, because wherever Mulder and Scully and whatever show up, he's like, trouble ain't too far behind. So yeah. But I always like the fact that that even though he's like, yeah, you've said that before, that he can read her mind. So the fact that he sticks around tells you that he still trusts her. He knows that even though she's been pretty ineffectual, given the forces they're up against, her heart and her mind concerning him are in the right place. So
yeah.
Doggett gets a call from Kirsch, who chews him out. Skinner tells him he's a pawn in a rigged game, and that his best chance is listening to Scully. So he puts a call out over the radio for anyone with eyes on Scully. Someone says they have her, but the actual Scully comes walking over to Doggett out of the desert. So is this Scully? Or is that Scully? Who's Scully? Yeah. Which one's Scully? So they all run to get the fake Scully, but she kills an agent and turns into Agent Crane.
This was a terrific sequence.
It was, and it wasn't, because it brings me to my major contention with this episode. Okay, so now, if you remember, two fathers, one son. There was the whole thing where Krychek stabs the guy in the back of the neck. He goes down, starts while he just has a chat with this other guy, and we got bent out of shape by the fact that they're not burning. Their eyes aren't burning. Now, I think I figured out why that is.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what that is when we get to the end of the episode. However, while I feel like I've sussed that part out, and therefore it's cleared up this thing where, it's not a break in continuity. They've not cocked up their own continuity. It was just that I didn't get it back in Two Fathers and One Son. So now I'm comfortable saying, that's that. Cool. Let's move on. And yet they go and do something else here that cocks up the continuity in a way that really pisses me off.
On you go. Get on your soapbox, Brian.
Right.
Preach.
Every single time we've had the alien bounty hunters, the shape-shifting bounty hunters, and I mean every single time before this episode, they have never, ever been able to change their clothing. When they were first introduced in Colony and Endgame, they even made a point of the fact that the guy that Brian Thompson's budget Terminator first kills and sticks into the boot of the car, when we see him in the boot of the car, he's got no clothes on. Why does he have no clothes on? because when Brian Thompson's budget Terminator turned into him, he had to take his clothes in order to fully disguise himself as him. And we've seen that at every other opportunity that these guys have changed shape. We saw it when the Roy Finnis version of the bounty of the shapeshifter came in, where he runs into someone in a group and then he stands up. He's changed, but he's wearing the same clothes. They even point that out on the camera. Look, that guy there, he's wearing the same clothes, but he's different. So that is the continuity as far as these guys are concerned. Not in this episode. In this episode, they don't just change their skin, they change their clothes. They can shapeshift clothes, apparently. First time that's ever been said, and it pisses me off because it completely breaks the continuity of the show.
I'm going to say I don't care.
How can you not care? It's just it's convenience. It's like, oh crap, we can't get
our
way.
You said it yourself. This could be a completely different bounty hunter with different set of skills or tech.
Rubbish.
I mean, it's plausible.
Yeah, it just annoys me. I'm just like, I feel like the whole the acid not burning the faces things. I felt that was like a continuity error.
I feel more aggrieved by that, I think.
Yeah, I don't now because I think I figured it out. And yet, in the very episode where I think I figured that out, they go and introduce another continuity error that just it winds me up. Just winds me up because they've made such a point of it in previous episodes that they've had to literally work the story around that element, around the fact that this guy can only change his skin, he can't change his clothes.
Yep.
And I liked that fact. I liked that it meant, oh, actually, that's a way you can find them and trick them. And, it was a weakness. It was a chink in their armor, so to speak. And now it's just like, no, we need it to happen. So we're just going to say it happens. And I'm just like, that's lazy. That is just lazy writing, to be perfectly honest. Like the other guys, the other agents, they're all like, white shirt, black tie type guys. So you can do this. So you could have them like, be in those clothes. And if you had Scully coming in those clothes, because it's not like they spend ages with this fake Scully. They pretty much, they show you right off the bat, this is the fake Scully. So have her wearing a white shirt and black tie because it's the bounty hunter in those clothes. And then when she changes into Agent Crane, she would be dressed appropriately and be able to blend in. But there's no it's an easy fix, but they took the lazy route and it just annoys me. So okay, so that's that. So we move on to Gibson has a dream or / vision of Mulder. It's not quite clear which one it is, or it may even be that he's tapped in to Mulder because Mulder's quite close, that he can actually hear Mulder's thoughts. Would have been handy to use. Yeah. It's like, hey, Gibson, lead us to Mulder, will you? Can you sense him? Is he around here? So an ambulance arrives to collect the agent whose throat was ripped out by Scully. He thinks anyway. Yeah. I mean, other than that real annoyance for me, the scene itself is quite good.
No, I like it. I think it's quite a fun sequence.
Yeah. Scully intends to leave, but Skinner has the key, the car key. Things get heated between them as she doesn't know if she can trust him. He earns her trust, and they drive away together to get Gibson. And Gibson's friend watches. Yeah. Because that's what she does.
Friend.
She just watches. Yeah. Friend, yeah. friend. A bit
Yeah.
like Mulder. Yeah. So I feel like we've had a lot of these kind of sequences throughout the show where, you know, and it always seems to be with Skinner. Like, how many times are we going to distrust Skinner?
Yeah.
It's like, come on. But I get it, though. I get the situation. Scully knows there's a shape-shifting bounty hunter on this site. So can she really trust Skinner right now? Can she trust anyone? The answer is
but
no.
I love what he says, and I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's something like, I hate being held at gunpoint by a pregnant woman, as if this is something that happens so many times that he's got an aversion to it.
Yeah, it reminds me of Broken Arrow when the guy says, I don't know what's scarier, the fact that they have this term, or the fact that it the fact that this can happen, or the fact that it happens in so many times they have a term for it.
Yeah.
So they find Gibson on the floor, and he tells them that he can hear him, presumably meaning Mulder. He never actually says flat out that it's Mulder, but the presumption from me there is that it's Mulder, and that he's so close. Scully tells Skinner to take him to the hospital, and she stays behind. So Skinner gets him to a medical center, but Gibson gets spooked when his friend arrives at the door. I'd have liked to have seen this scene play out. To be fair, would have been nice.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to see Skinner getting tossed across the room by a little girl. I just think it would have been funny if she'd have shut the door behind her, and then, like, boom, picks up Scully and just Skinner, and just launched him. Because
you see later on, and this is the thing I don't understand, like, so something must have happened in that room.
Yes.
Right. And there is about 20 agents right outside the door.
Uh-huh.
And surely it couldn't have been a quiet thing.
No, because Skinner's got the burns, so presumably that means he's broke the skin of this bounty hunter. Now, did he do that with his handgun? Did he cut her? Right? Like, either way, there's been a struggle, and the clowns outside just don't seem to have taken any of it on board. But
it was one of those, like, I know it comes later on, but I'll just touch on it just now. Like when Skinner when Doggett and Scully appear, at first I thought it was just two guys who were guarding the room, but then they walk through a hallway where there's like another 10 folk, and you just think, how many people are guarding this? How many people didn't hear a thing?
Mm-hmm. Most incompetent career ever. Scully shouts for Mulder and sees a light in the sky. Yeah. It's that age-old trope of a UFO. No, it's a helicopter. Of course, it's a helicopter. So, I remember them doing this way back in Ascension, Dwayne Barry in Ascension, where it's like, oh, look, UFO. No, it's a helicopter. But also, it feels like a bit of a trope now when you get Scully kind of just shouting, Mulder! Mulder! Yeah. Oh, the other way around. Scully! Scully!
Yeah. What we really need is the rain and the camera to crane up above her, just to really give it that cliche.
Add some dramatic impetus to it. Yeah, so I watch moments like this, and it's kind of like, oh, this feels like we've seen this so many times, and yet emotionally, I understand it. She's desperate. She feels like he's out there somewhere, and she's not equipped to find him. So she's shouting to the heavens, and it's just like, it's just desperation. But anyway, the helicopter lands. Out pops Doggett, calls her out for lying, and asks what she'd do if she found any of the things she's out there looking for. He questions her sanity, then says they're guarding Gibson. And Scully gets pissed because he's like, hang on, you're guarding Gibson. What? Obviously, she's got a brain in her head.
Yeah.
How do you know they are your men, is what she asks. They leave, and just yards away is the UFO with Mulder inside. shouting, Scully! Scully! Oh, man. Great stuff. I think you could edit a video together just of all the times that they've shouted each other's names, and that would be a long video.
Like a good couple of hours, yeah.
Yeah, a good couple of hours for sure. So Scully and Doggett arrive at the hospital and find Gibson and Skinner missing. And a bunch of incompetent agents going, huh? They split up and search. Scully finds Skinner, who grabs her and launches her across the room. No doubt in the same fashion he was probably launched across the room that we didn't see.
And nobody heard.
And nobody heard, yeah. So she gets thrown into a glass cabinet. She shoots him straight through the back of the neck. Boom. Takes him down. Shoots him through the back of the neck, and he melts away. Doggett arrives, and Scully starts crying. Not because she's a super emotional woman, but because obviously she's a pregnant woman who's just been thrown into a cabinet. That could be very, very dangerous for a baby. So I think right now she's very worried, very concerned about the life inside her. And I really liked the reaction. I thought that was genuine. I like that she doesn't start crying when Doggett comes in. She starts crying immediately. Like once the fake Skinner gets taken down, she kind of puts a gun down and she just breaks down because it's like, holy crap, my baby. It's like, yeah, it feels like a really genuine, great emotion. Now, this is where I had the epiphany of the continuity error, as we previously thought, not actually being a continuity error. And I think it's this. The thing with Krychek stabbing the alien bounty hunter in the neck is that he got it. He hit it in the spot that kills it. And Scully's done the same thing here. She successfully shot it in the right place where it killed it. Now, we've seen Mulder do the same, where he in Endgame, he tried shooting it, but he missed the spot, didn't get it. The blood came out, and that's when he got his eyes burnt and stuff. And every other time we've seen, I think, that gas kind of affect people is when they try and, when they make it bleed, but they don't kill it.
Or they get the wrong area.
Yeah, they get the wrong area. So I think that explains that so-called continuity error. Now, I could just be blowing smoke out of my ass. I could be misremembering. Is there an instance in the show? Please, people, correct me if I'm wrong. Has there been an instance in the show where one of these things has been killed by taking a shot to the base of the neck, and yet still the gas has created that effect of burning the eyes and stuff? I'm thinking now perhaps there was one in Erlenmeyer Flask, but I don't know. I can't remember. I'm going to have to go back and check. But for now, that would explain the so-called continuity error. But like I say, if there is an instance where that did happen, where they got killed and yet they still burnt the eyes, then that continuity error is way back in, and this is just convenience. You know, as and when they need it to is when they'll do it. But for now, I'm going to go with my theory. So there you go.
Okay. Yeah.
Sounds legit. So we go to the FBI, and Kirsch looks at photos. He doesn't look impressed.
Can I just, for a sec, I quite like that they had photos of the alien with the green goo, and
yes.
it's just the actual, some kind of tangible evidence which will be rationalized away, but they have something.
Yeah. So somebody actually thought to quick get a picture before all this stuff goes. Yeah. So Kirsch calls it pot-boiled science fiction, or an X-file, as Doggett corrects him. He says, "Give me some damn answers and don't come back until you do," which is like, is that his way of putting him on the X-Files? It's like, because like he never actually says flat out, "Fine, you're on the X-Files. Give me some damn answers." He just essentially scolds him. "Get out my office. give me some damn answers and don't come back until you do. It's like Doggett just goes away and takes that to me. Hey, I'm on the X-Files, yo. So yeah, he gets to see Scully in hospital, gives her a card. He says he's keeping her apprised of the case. She questions why he's so interested. And then he's like, I've been assigned as your new partner, yo. And she's like, oh really?
Yeah.
Fun times. And then we have one final scene where Brian Thompson really earned his paycheck that day because he pops up about 6 or 7 times. Yeah, we see Mulder, he's in his little torture device, and we see a whole bunch of Brian Thompsons all around him, earning 6 different paychecks.
Yeah.
And that's it. We go out. End of the episode. So yeah. Go on, wrap up.
I would say, like, in the realm of like 2-parter kind of episodes within the X-Files, this one really feels like a strong continuation, you know, whereas you take out the credits from both of them and it's just one big long movie with a similar tone, storyline, and it really just bleed into one another really well.
Yeah.
So a lot of what I said the last time about the tone, the search for Mulder, the idea of having him peppered throughout the episode, the soft reboot here, Scully's emotional situation, I think it builds on everything that was done within the first episode. I think it's slightly better because for me it lands, and I feel like the second episode can really dictate how you feel about a 2-parter a lot. And I think it lands perfectly well here and was something that I really enjoyed. You know, it keeps in some standard things like Brian Thompson, keeps him in there, so it still has that kind of alien, the paranormal element. It still has that procedural element as well. Brings back Gibson's legacy character. I enjoyed it. I think it's still going to be a 4.5 for me. And one of my kind of favourite 2-parters, I think, within the series.
Really?
Yeah.
Favorite 2-parters? Wow. Okay. If it wasn't for that damn continuity error, I'd probably bump this up. I'd probably bump the first part up as well, to be honest, as a result. I don't know, man. Things like that just really bug me because they're not minor. Like once you go back on something like that, it undermines everything that came before. And it's just like for me, I wrote down a 3.5. Maybe that's a little over the top. But
that's how you feel.
Yeah, I can't get over that continuity error. It really annoys me. It's just like I get a bee in my bonnet about things like that. I do think you're right though about tone and whatnot. I think when you and when I first saw this episode, I did see it as the movie version. When it was edited together and it's hard to tell where the break is, because the tone is the same in both. It helps that we're at the Arizona desert in the latter third of the first part, and we're still there in throughout the second part. Whereas like if you look like a two-parter like Talitha Kumi and Herrenvolk, there's a tonal shift because you've got the first part that takes place in like Washington and it takes place in like FBI buildings and the locations we know, Mulder and Scully's apartments, those kind of places. And then the second episode goes out into some weird desert location with bees. And it almost feels disconnected in some way to the first part. They're like 2 separate episodes that have been lumped together as a 2-parter. Whereas here, no, they bleed into each other. It feels like a genuine kind of feature-length movie version. So yeah, tone-wise, all that stuff, it is on point. Everything that's happening in the episode in terms of story and character, I do love. If you are a person who can let that continuity error go, I can totally understand why you would give this a 4.5. I would be there. I would be on the same page as you if it wasn't for that damn thing. Yeah, it's too much of an unforgivable sin as far as TV shows go for me. I hate it when they do it. They drop the ball, and it now means that, like, which one do you pick up on going forward? If this character comes back, if the bounty hunters come back, do you lean into the fact that, oh yeah, we made a mistake, we're going to go back to the fact that
Yeah. Well, I think the fact that the bounty hunter is now just gone because we know he's not coming back.
Yeah. So right. Okay. So 3.5 for me. But I still enjoy it though. I get a lot of enjoyment out of it just because I like this. I like the new tone they've got. I like the new dynamic with Doggett being in it. It's the show was starting to feel a bit stale in certain areas, and bringing Doggett in, changing the whole team dynamic, it makes it feel fresh again. It just makes it feel a bit more exciting again, like a bit more unpredictable.
And I'll tell you what, compared to season 7's first 2 episodes, way better. Way better.
Yeah. Gold. Yeah. Gold standard. Yeah. But
so next up, Brian, we have Patience, episode 3. Tell me a little bit about this one.
So this is like a giant bat episode.
So
yeah, I remember this, and I think it's because of the time it came out, and I think I would imagine there is a definite influence there from Jeepers Creepers.
Right.
Okay. So Jeepers Creepers, was it 2001? I think Jeepers Creepers came out thereabouts.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was about 2001. So I think this came around that time, and there's just certain elements in it where I'm like, I think somebody's been watching Jeepers Creepers and thought, let's do an episode in that vein.
If Jeepers Creepers was 2001, wasn't this 2000?
No, I think
no, that's just 2000.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
Go on, look it up.
I'm going to look up.
It's
that would be.
Let's not forget as well. It's the same studio. I'm pretty sure Jeepers Creepers was 20th Century Fox. Of course, I could be wrong about that.
Without came out on the 12th of November 2000.
Okay, so when was Jeepers Creepers? When did that come out?
It was 2001.
All right, okay. And were they both 20th Century Fox? That's the thing, because maybe there's a bit of in-house stuff going on. I don't know, but all right. Well, that's quite nice. It's quite nice to know that X-Files actually came first.
And it was released in August 31st, 2001, so almost a year after this.
Right. Okay. Well, then, there you go. Well, whether it was intentional or not, for me, there's a Jeepers Creepers vibe in it. But maybe from now on, I'll watch Jeepers Creepers and think, you know what, there's a real Patience vibe in this.
Yeah. Well, we did talk about this a lot in the first few episodes, where it felt like there was a lot of influences in the X-Files, but there was also a lot of things that they influenced as well.
Yeah.
So
just
another one.
Yeah.
So that's without the tense follow-up that shows just how far the X-Files has shifted without Mulder at its centre. Scully's holding on by sheer faith, Doggett's starting to see there's more here than just bureaucracy, and Mulder remains just out of reach, but still there. Next time we shift gears into Patience, the first true monster of the week of the Doggett era. Can the show still deliver classics X-Files weirdness without Mulder? Well, join us next week when we find out. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe and support us on whatever podcast or YouTube you watch us on. I would greatly appreciate it, and allow others to discover us. And we'll see you next week for some Patience.